Hello everybody, and welcome back to part 2 of our review of Jeezy's TM Thug Motivation 104, The Legend of the Snowman. And I say this is part 2 because we already did the first 8 tracks in our track by track breakdown of this album, giving our thoughts and opinions. My name is Holden Stephan Roy.
My name is Chris Chrome.
And we are now going to go through the rest of the album and talk about tracks 9 through 18. And so that's what we're going to do. Rather than go through the whole intro bit, you can watch part 1 to get through that, or if you just want to stick around and hear us jibber jabber about the rest of these tracks, that's cool. But we acknowledge at the beginning, we know we ain't professionals, we know we're just people from Montreal, etc, etc. But that's where you come in, and in the comments you can add whatever you want. And if you want to add to this review, anyone else coming to watch it will totally benefit from that. And if you make an effort to comment, I'll make an effort to respond. On that note, when you play the piano, it's fun to hit the white keys. I know it's not a piano.
Curvin', I'm such an asshole. I'm talking Fetty May. I hope you're ready, man.
I feel like this is one of the best hooks on the album that Jeezy delivers. It's truly freaking divine. White keys, piano, roll clips, banana, my plug of manners. And I like the fact that he does the singing, there's a melody to it, and he shows that like he's not afraid to be versatile and make a banger.
Right.
It's got like a classical feeling beat, which makes sense because the whole premise of this track is that the Snowman is so well known to the block for his ability to deliver white keys that he's basically Beethoven of the block.
That was cool.
And I'm like, that's actually pretty fresh. It's like a classic nature to the way he's like, it's putting himself in league with like real classics. Like people throw the word timeless around like way too much. Like if the people are alive, we can't be calling them timeless. Because we don't really know that they transcend time. That's the future. So you know who we can say with a good amount of certainty will be somebody that people in the future acknowledge?
Jeezy?
Beethoven.
Oh.
I don't know that they'll acknowledge Jeezy. I literally just said if you're still alive, it's too soon for like that.
Right.
But when you have these people who have been dead, and in some cases for hundreds of years, okay, we can call them timeless. That's fair. Like half this classical music over 100 years old.
Right.
All right, we can start to say that this is like seriously generational stuff, but like even the things people think are timeless are really only in their 3rd generation. And like at best most people might get 4 generations of recognition before they really fizzle out. And we see this as the Beatles lose relevancy and things like that are happening today. Not to say that they're not great or important or historically relevant, only that to be called timeless, like you have to transcend time, like significant time, not like 10 years. That's all I'm trying to say. Still, I like this track in the sense that it's nice. It flows. It's got this cool little beat. It's got these short verses. His rhyming is on point, is what it's been on with the rest of this project. Like, you know my wrist froze. You know my bitch cold. And ain't no catching me slipping. I keep that big pull. Hop in the Rolls Royce. I heard them boys talk. She keep calling. I'm curving. I'm such an asshole. Talking fit. And it's like, all right. He's flossing. He's keeping it grooving. But like he's not really adding a whole lot. It's just kind of again rolling on through with the premise of this track. So at this point in the album, you know, if we're looking at it from a story, so we've kind of got from the point where he's rich now and he's kind of established that he's a consistent force. He keeps it real, even though he doesn't have to be. He's still in the game to the point where he makes an art out of it, is what he's trying to, I believe he's trying to establish with this track. And we can go into the story. You go back in part 1, it's all in there. And I thought this was like just a pretty cool track. I like that that girl's a nympho, her friend a bimbo. I'm about to drive her, take it back just like a rental. I'm like, if you're gonna make lines about casual sex, be clever like that, because this was pretty good. I like the idea of like the way you put it. It showed some creativity. But in general, he's just kind of laying down the life that he lives, and that's just kind of how the song flows out. It's very short. I believe it's only a couple minutes, 2 minutes 37 seconds. Yeah. But honestly, I thought it had a great energy, and I thought it was truly fun to listen to. I liked it more than the last one. I liked it more than the ones I was giving a 4.2 to, but less than the ones I was giving a 4.35 to, so I give it a 4.3.
Nice. I kind of felt like this was just him giving us the same type of like energy and I guess the same type of content we've been getting, but I felt like it was more just like towards cocaine and just the dope, like just in kind of just praising that type of I guess investment. But it flows nicely. It comes through. I like the chorus. I like how he's giving us this like other side where he's like singing and he's kind of just being free with it. So that was really nice to hear. The Beethoven line, they call me Beethoven of the block white keys. It's cool that connection he's making, but I also feel like there's another meaning behind it in a way where, because Beethoven made music, he also makes music. It's like not just a play on words with the white keys. It's also in like solidifying, hey, I'm also a really dope rapper. I also make a lot of music and projects, and I guess he's kind of saying for himself that he believes he might be timeless, in a way. Like he believes that even in 10, 20, 30, 40 years, people will still be bumping his music and stuff. So that's really, really cool. The verses are kind of very just there. They say what they say. My wrist was froze, everything that Holden quoted. It is a very short song. Kind of just fits really well with the album, I think. It's a song that I am going to tend to go to a little bit sooner than other songs on this album. Personally, I do like the sound of it. I do like the hype of it. I like everything, the feel of it, the vibe. I also kind of got stumped at one point because I feel like this sounds a little bit like Vacation, Jeezy's song, I Need a Vacation. I went to go play it, and it's like the piano loop or the piano riff sounds almost the same, just a bit different tone, and it kind of gave me a little bit of a nostalgic feel because I really, really did enjoy that song. It was just something I really kind of gravitated to. Other than that, I give the song a 4.2.
All right. Well, if you have a really nice car, it must be fun to go down MLK Boulevard.
That nigga must be on that
Man, this, I'll give it to you, the drums sound kind of new. They don't sound as old. Still, how do you feel about this track featuring Mickey Mill, produced by Lex Luger on the beat? So what the fuck you looking at?
I really like it. I really like the energy and the heavy drums to it, and just the kind of like excitement anthem type feel that like it's coming in. It's great energy. I like, if I'm not mistaken, the intro kind of starts off like, you claim you're real, but your rollie's fake. Say you my dog, but you know you're a snake. Fuck 'em like Machiavelli. And I'm about to snap like Curtis Jackson and get the strap. I feel like this is the haters song right off the bat. Just like people faking, not really real ones. People are hating on them. And they're just kind of, I feel like we're about to get some flexing, some like, this is how you be real. This is where you come from, and it's what you got to do. Now, if I'm not mistaken, the chorus comes in, right? So the chorus comes in, and I got the dawn on Martin Luther King. Hop out the dawn on Martin Luther King. I like, from what I understand, it's the car that Martin Luther King had, or it's like the thing that the car that's dedicated.
It's a Rolls Royce Dawn.
Right, but is it the one that he had? Is it the one? I don't know if it's like this. Is it just because Martin Luther King had one, or is it like? Anyway. It's cool. They're kind of giving you this like, we've got nice whips, we're real, we've got legitimate shit, we're not faking. I guess the fact that he's using I guess it's the Rolls Royce Dawn that Martin Luther King had at one point, or like the same type of model, makes him more legit, more like, how am I gonna be so authentic and like so true to myself? This is how I do it. That was cool. He kind of follows through with, I hustle hard, I go get the check, they want me dead just like Malcolm X. Again, more of this like reference of the culture, the history, black history, from where, like, wherever he's educated, what he's been educated on and what he grew up with. So that's super cool. I like how he's kind of giving shout outs in the second part. of the chorus. I'm war ready like Rick Ross. That was cool. Yeah, Boys in the Hood, we knocking Ricky off. I don't particularly remember that scene, but I have seen Boys in the Hood, so that was cool. She think I love her. Yeah, she fucking crazy. I'm about to pass that bitch like Tom Brady. Football reference. That was nice. These people pussy. Boy, that shit a trip. I'm better off beefing with Taylor Swift. I like that line for some reason, and I don't particularly know why. I think it's just because, like, I know that Taylor Swift is, like, a really big artist, super popular, all this shit. But the fact that he rather beef with her than anyone else is just, I guess, a little bit comedic to me. Like, he really thinks y'all ain't shit if he rather go beef with Taylor Swift. That's kind of how I'm taking it. So that was really cool. That could have been the first verse. Yeah, no, actually, that could have been the first verse. My bad, guys. The chorus comes back in. That was cool. And then verse 2, we've got Meek Mill. Now, I feel like Meek Mill held his ground and I guess just does what I've always seen Meek Mill do. Just kind of floss and really just kind of outshine people. I'm getting head in the back of the Phantom, fucking with Ross, and I'm back in Atlanta. That's dope. When I'm in Neiman's,
why is that dope?
I just like it's just cool because I know he's also kind of dealing with that court case. So now that I don't recall them ever splitting up. Maybe I missed something there, but it's cool that they're back. I know that they were used to work together a lot. I know that they were part of I know that Meek was part of Maybach Music at one point. So it's cool to see that they're back together and they're going strong. I mean, getting head in the back of a Phantom, that's just cool. Like I want to live up to that one day. I want to have that happen. Be able to be in a Phantom and do what I want. That's dope. When I'm in Neiman's, I act like a scammer, do the connect like I'm Tony Montana, give me a chopper to go from the slammer. I tell the driver to go get my hammer. I get this bitch swerving them bricks and everything lit like I'm holding a candle. It's more of that just boss mentality, very kind of standing up with Jeezy the way that it doesn't really seem like Meek Mill wants to get his hands dirty, so he's got people running things for him, but he's also not afraid to have to use the hammer, the gun, if he has to protect himself or if shit gets out of hand. And it kind of just really follows through. We get a little bit of like come from the bottom of the bottom. You kind of understand that he's really like, kind of come from the dirt and he's really trying to just build himself up and he's getting there. So that was cool. And it just kind of follows through of just this is how you got to be real and we're not fake. We really have this money. We really live this life. We really do what it is we say we do. And I feel like both of the artists really gave that message very clear. So I really enjoyed it. It had way more of that, I'm going to say modern energy, just that more feel, that vibe. I guess the sound that I like and just that heaviness to it. So 4.5.
Alright, so Meek Mill appears to still be signed to Maybach, but he also has his own label that he now has, so he's probably just signed to Maybach, but then running the next label. Adon is a Rolls Royce, and what's fun about Rolls Royce is that I just learned while I was trying to figure out where this MLK Rolls Royce thing came from, because I never heard of it, so if you guys know about that, let me know. But either way, 75% of all Rolls Royces ever made are still on the road. And I wonder if any other car company that's not Tesla can make that claim today. Only because Tesla's pretty new. Come on, most of their cars are still on the road. And yeah, in general, this track, to me, I just pictured he's putting it out on MLK Boulevard because a lot of cities have it. There are apparently over 700 MLK Boulevards in the States. And what's funny is that Jeezy's town doesn't have one. I think it was saying Atlanta does not have an MLK Boulevard. So we're not really sure which one it is. But I think that's almost the point. He's everywhere.
Right.
Driving down with his fancy-ass car. And then I hustle hard, I go and get the check. They want me dead just like a Malcolm X. And I thought that was nifty. So he's like, okay, MLK Boulevard. And then he can compare himself to both of these figures in a sense, bring them up. And fun fact about Malcolm X that I don't know if you guys knew, but read his autobiography. And he's one of the dudes that was like one of the first ever interstate drug traffickers, which I think is a fascinating tidbit of Malcolm X before he reforms in prison and goes on. But he was working for the train company and he was hustling some reefer. and he started moving reefer across state lines, like creating one of the first weed distribution interstate drug trafficking networks, which is really freaking fascinating. So anyway, people were in fact jealous of him or unhappy with him, and they wanted him dead, as you could tell through history. And I imagine that a person with Jeezy's ambition has enemies, and people want him dead too. Otherwise, I like when he goes, just keep your eyes up for them false prophets, watch for the people who are fake. Goes on to describe them, that this talking like a Ye or something, saying somebody's crazy, but then kind of alluding to Ye being crazy for allying with Trump, so fuck Trump. I mean, I'm not an American citizen, so it's hard for me to be like whatever with this fuck Trump shit, but like, Trump isn't the problem. Trump's a symptom. That's all I'm gonna say about that. So it's cool to yell out fuck Trump, but like, fuck a capitalist system that exploits people for the sake of the benefit of working on most people and the poor for, enriching the rich. And it's just weird that somebody's gonna yell out fuck Trump is also gonna be like, I rock designer brands, because the designer brands create the same kind of world that the Trump wants, as opposed to the more... Anyway, if you really get into it, there's a lot of strange choices that ultimately get made. And the fuck Trump, somebody better call CNN, it just kind of felt vapid to me. Like, I'm not saying that it's not cool to do that, and I would rather see you state your political opinion than not. I would have just rather seen him elaborate on his political opinion here more than just a one-off line in the middle of an album with a cheap shot at CNN. It's okay, just not my cup of tea. I like real political rap. And then the verse flows on, it's cool. I like when he goes, you know what I thought was actually a smarter thing? These pussy boy, this shit a trip. I'm better off beefing with Taylor Swift. He said more there than he did with all of his politics stuff there. Because that was a cool line. I'm pointing out, it's kind of whack that Taylor Swift is beefing with everyone, even rappers and stuff. And then, may as well go at that, because look how good it did for Kanye.
A little. I was just gonna say that. That's why I think.
Which is from a writing perspective why this is fresh, because it ties the whole verse together.
I was just gonna say that. I felt part of me was like, is this a whole verse that's kind of like maybe about Kanye? That's why I didn't quote the first part.
I don't think the whole thing is like Kanye. I just think he's kind of making a point out of it.
And I agree. I think there is a point that's being made. That's because I did enjoy the first part. I just don't think that I am very in tune with that to be making any comments. So that's why I just wanted to.
And then I felt like Meeky's verse was aight. I felt he went with a very modern flow on this, but like there's I like it when Meek Mill enunciates a little clearer. Mm-hmm. That's about my only comment on his delivery. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, I listen to like Wins and Losses, the track, like every freaking day sometimes, because it's tight. Like there's so many tracks. Or the other one, freaking Dreams and Nightmares, like, hold up, wait a minute, y'all thought I was finished. Like that energy he brings, and that's my favorite Meek. This one was not my favorite Meek, so he's alright on this. I thought he flowed proper. Everything he said was okay, but a little bit to me felt like he phoned it in rather than gave the same level of effort I think he puts on his own projects. I thought this was a very fun song to listen to. I don't know a lot more to comment on it. It did the job it was supposed to do. It's got banger kind of energy, and I give it a 4.35. And then, you know what we should do, Chris? We should talk about the other Maybach music artist that's on this label, Mr. Ricky Ross himself, as we head back to 06.
I cast them out on the truck. My cousin set up my cousin, that's what you call me.
What I like about this track is how smooth it is. The last one had this banger, like I'm ready to go energy. And then with Rick Ross, he's coming in with this like laid back, like cool energy, like we keep things cock, yeah, we hit and we don't miss. Chill, this bad bitch, we fuck and we don't kiss. And I'm like, that's cool. Like the flow, the energy he's doing. Plus, it's a nice hook. It's like one of those hooks where, yeah, it's a little slow and laid back, but like he's just hitting it so hard, and you're like singing along by the end of it. Because of ASAP Ferg, I know what a plain Jane is. So watch as a plain Jane cost me like 4 bricks just in your first meal. Hey, I spent that in 06, and then he repeats it. Now I think that's cool because he's pointing out like, yo, some of these people maybe need to like check their egos a little bit, and which is a follow-up to the last song, right? Because the last song was kind of at the haters. Now Rick Ross also really popped around '06, right? And so Jeezy and Rick Ross probably came up around the same time, the same lanes, with the same amount of like, you know, getting access to money around the same time is what I'm trying to say. So when he goes, yo, just seen your first million, yo, I spent that in '06. Not that he got it, he spent $1 million, meaning he had more millions coming in.
Right.
All the way back in '06. Jump ahead 13 freaking years. A lot of people are talking a lot about a lot of things, but it seems like people forget that there are some seriously established people who have been there and done that they're maybe not giving the respect to. Like, these new cats are not necessarily giving the respect to people who may be actually outperforming them, which is a fascinating thing. And then, I don't know, I had the verses, man. Picture me rolling, like pocket in the 90s hoe. Knocked out that 50-pack, told and sent me about 90 mo. Already famous, I was star at the corner store, just holler at shorty, 125 for a quarter. Oh, and I like that, right? Because he again reemphasizes how as he's flowing through, getting more shit. But yo, I was already like hood famous from my time on the block and already moving all this stuff. Cheesy for president, make America snow again. I like this flow, man. This is a fresh flow on this project. I really dig it.
Very smooth.
And then apparently it has Make America Snow Again, which is a pretty like interesting take on Make America Great Again. So, you know, flip it and make it his own, which is pretty cool. Heard us in '05. They're good at Blow Again. And I guess that maybe plays in a little bit with Katrina. I think Katrina was in '05 with
Hurricane
the wind blowing.
Katrina? Yeah.
Maybe. I might be wrong there. But anyway, so, or maybe something bad happened then. Either way, the second verse comes in, and then we get Ricky Rouse. And then I have to admit, man, y'all giggle with groupies is funny. Not because it's just funny to listen to. You hear him say it, and it's just anybody that says giggle in a hard ass rap song, it makes me giggle because it's a freaking silly word.
I feel
it's
you.
silly.
I feel you.
And it works so well. Anyway, I sold my 2 porches, so kill me or sue me. Smorgasbord full of bitches, nose candy delicious. Smorgasbord? Rick Ross is killing me with funny words today, but it's working. Basically, you got a bunch of girls with cocaine. Not that much game if you got money, but that's cool. Anyway, I'm chasing money, relentless, massive well, what you call it. Crime scene at your party, dearly departed. Give a stack to my barber. Bitches loving my beard. Make her get so erotic. I think she feeling sincere. Maybach music. But I like the fact that he brings up how ladies do love the beard. Now let me explain something. If you keep it nice and soft, women like to touch that shit. They'll like, I know it's gross. It's full of germs and crap, but like, I can imagine that with the mollies he might be putting in people's champagnes and things, they're feeling a certain level of sensational like desire as he I could just picture basically he gives girls drugs and they have sex with him. That's his game. It's not more complicated. So I'm sure that a lot of girls do a lot of ecstasy around Rick Ross. Okay. Anyway, I'm not hating. I'm just saying I imagine in moments with the girls on a bunch of drugs, his beard is awesome to them. And that's what he's pointing out. And when you're around a lady with MDMA and she kind of likes you, she might catch feelings in a deeper way and believe it when she's saying stuff like I love you at 3 a.m. after you guys have banged a couple times. So I get where he's coming from on this track. I thought this was just a different kind of banger, but one that was really like, it worked really well. I thought it flowed super nice, and I'm giving it another 4.35 on 5.
I enjoyed it. I think I enjoyed it more just as a song instead of reviewing it. I like listen. Well, because like I'm saying, like I like listening to it, but it's not one that I'm gonna go back to. It's not one that I really like got anything out of that much. It kind of just follows suit with the rest of what we've been getting off of the album. I'm not really like the biggest Rick Ross fan either, but I was impressed by his verse. Just soldiers of fortunes, y'all giggle with groupies. That whole line there, that whole like thing was just really nice. The way he presented it was really cool. It didn't have. I feel like Rick Ross has this like choppy flow, not like da 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 da, but like kind of just talks and then raps sometimes, and then just kind of talks and just says, I don't know. I'm not trying to like.
Photographs of dope boys. That's all they take it.
I'm not trying to diss Rick Ross in any way, of course not. This is what I've heard and the songs I hear him on and stuff like that. But I was really impressed with the way he presented this verse. It kind of flowed all together one thing, and it just kind of matches up, so that was good. Jeezy did what Jeezy's been doing so far. I didn't really see anything different or new on this track, so I was like, huh, okay. It's keeping consistent with like what we've been getting. So
I know a lot of y'all, if you're just watching this video, y'all are like, okay, that's a weird thing to say, blah, blah, blah. But y'all don't understand. After track 13, Chris struggles to maintain interest. And we're like basically approaching this point of the album. And I'm proud of Chris for getting this long without even saying anything like that, yo. Because he didn't. He went this long, which is... We did it, buddy. You got like more than halfway through the album before you got bored with the subject matter not changing.
No, I just want to be clear. I wasn't bored with this album. It's literally just like there's some songs. It's just like I'm like
no, but just to give some context for those who are new here, as a reviewer, you're like, okay, novel stuff. Like when an album is like 18 tracks and every song is something different, it's like easy. It's like literally every track's a different conversation.
Right.
But like at this point, you're like, okay, 10 on the floor. That's the next track. But anyway, you listen to whatever lines it might be, and it's gonna be like, okay, at like a line by line level, there's a lot of similarities going on the themes. Like the core theme of this album is the story of Jeezy, the drug dealer turned rapper, and all the successes and shit that's come with it. So that is going to be the theme of kind of in some way every song. And so when you listen to it, it's fresh and you vibe to it in a way. When you look into it from a deeper level, after a while, sometimes when these albums are like this, it's not that they're poorly constructed. It's simply that talking about them in a unique way gets more challenging.
Fair enough. I did like in verse 1 when Jeezy goes, Cuzzo just touched down. I cast him out on a truck. My cousin set him up. My cousin set up my cousin. That's what you call bad luck. And I like that line just because it's like he's bringing up this like you really can't trust anybody. Like you try to do good. You're trying to, set people on that right path. And then I don't know if he's using cousin as a legitimate family member or like, cuz my cousin or like my homie or whatnot. I don't know which way he's using it, but just the fact of this is somebody you are considering to be a family member. This is somebody that you are considering to be close with, and they're fucking your other boy over who you're just as equally as close with as well. And it kind of just shows like there really are, snakes in the grass, people out here trying to get you. And this is what, and that's that's kind of one of the things I took from Jeezy's verse. So that was cool. I gave the song a 4.2.
Also, isn't it crazy how it's August and the weather in Montreal got cold today? Like, for real, it was like sweater weather today, inside. I'm certain outside in the sun, but like Montreal's whack. Let us know if your weather's also whack. We care about that.
Pretty chilly even in the sun. I walked here.
Chris, don't make me take my shirt off. I'll be honest. I was sitting there going, I really like this project and like a solid, consistent, it's really good. But I'm not feeling like a lot of this is stuff I'm going to be wanting to bump on my random playlist. This is more of an album flow.
Yeah.
So I want to just be clear. As an album, it's very awesome. A lot of these individual singles, I don't know that I would go back to just like, because a lot of the way I consume music outside of the reviewing time is I'm cycling and I have shit on random. So I want those songs that I'm really, really, really attracted to. And I don't know if you remember the last beatmaker who I was like, yo, that beatmaker with Jeezy got me real excited.
Justice?
It is Justice League who created this beat as well for Don't Make Me. And here I am again going, damn, this is pretty freaking great. Like, I don't know, man. Everything the way is like China from China. And I'm like, oh, that's a clever line. Because it's just China wear directly from China being like authentic. And I'm like, that's pretty fresh,
I'm sorry. I don't have much to say about this. So
my shit's designer, as in his clothing, is a designer quality. I came from nothing. Thought I'd remind you. And I get that because I came from fucking welfare. And I have no problem bringing that up every time I can to let people know that even if I'm not doing Jeezy good, from where I come from, they look at me with like your rich attitude. Like I can't go back to where I come from without copping attitude. Like I'm talking like if I say Uber, I get like glared at because I make too much money if I can have an Uber type world. So it's not even like it's not gravy, but the perception is everything, right? So you do a little bit better than others, and like, if you can afford an Uber, which I guess I can, that is a level of life that is above where I come from. That's all I'm trying to say. 20-year-old me would fucking hate me today just because of kind of how my world is. Like, I'm not being the ghetto fuck I wanted to be.
Right.
I like the attitude on this, man. What grade did you want to give it to get your freaking point out and done?
I gave it a 4 on 5 because I do like just.
What?
I gave it a 4 on 5 because I like
What?
like the art behind it. I like
What is
Jeezy's
that?
doing.
Okay, you're just saying Chris stuff.
No, Jeezy's doing his thing.
What
and
does
he's
the
rapping
art
well.
behind it mean?
Just like the artistic talent that Jeezy's bringing to the table. It's just very good. But it was one of those songs that I was like catching myself scrolling on my phone. I wasn't really interested in it that much.
The art.
I like that he can do it.
Just say he's doing
He's
it
talented.
good.
That's
Say
it.
that.
That's it. He's
The
talented.
artistic, the sense, like I'm just trying to say fluff to fill in the podcast review,
4 on 5.
which is
That's all I'm
fine.
saying.
Just be like, I don't got shit to say
it.
because I was bored and I was scrolling on my phone, not paying attention. You know what? I go through that a lot. There are definitely songs where I scroll through it on my phone and I'm like, let me tell you something. When my grade is in that 4 or less range, like there was one where I'm like, oh, I think I don't know if I gave the 4 yet, but one of them I was just like, this is not good to me. And so I gave it a 4. Oh, we haven't got there yet. I had a moment where I swear I could have just kept scrolling, but I'll tell you about it soon. I like this track though, man. The beat, it just flows so well with him. And that attitude, man, it's just, don't make me get back up on my shit, boy. Take that whole thing, break it down out of Nick. Ziploc, that's a bag full of tricks. And the doors go up, that's all for the kicks. And you know what the thing is he's kind of like flossing here in a way where he's being like, listen, you guys think you understand this shit. I'm already over here. I'm past that. Don't make me have to come back and remind you who the king is. Don't make me have to. Just give me that respect, you know? And I appreciate where he's coming from. Because sometimes people forget about your game and what like made you what you are. Now, I've been at the same company for 9.5 years. And I know it's not the same, but I did a call center grind flipped in a corporate hustle. And sometimes people forget that when it came to that call center grind, I'm fucking MVP, dog. I killed that shit. You can hear how I talk now. But imagine customer service. Like, thank you for calling customer service. My name's Holden. May I please have your order ID number? Allow me to be abundantly clear. In a calm tone, I'm going to rationally argue how you agreed to our terms and conditions. And I understand if you want your money back, but like unless you say the right 2 or 3 keywords, I'm not going to give you your money back. I'm really good at that. So like, you know. Anyway, so and then people forget that stuff, and it makes me feel away sometimes when people doubt my skills. Right, makes me feel away. So I feel like that way. That's what Jeezy feels away sometimes. I don't know. I feel like this track is just grind worthy for me.
You're really connecting with this song.
I like it. Don't trust the soul. Exactly what it told me. Couldn't even trust him is what he showed me. When you broke the rules, dog, you broke my heart. 10-room mansion sitting in the dark. 10 steps ahead, I'm a visionary. Richest place in the world is the cemetery. I'm like, that's an interesting point. Because both from like a financial perspective of like the industry surrounds cemetery, and then think about the value and the wealth of all these dead people. Oh, that's the truth, man. And I just like the fact that he has that like, I like dudes who live by a code of honor. And you can tell he does. Went from bagging reefer, now we sell tequila. And that's fascinating, right? How you can sell one illicit substance, one psychoactive substance, marijuana, and it's illegal and blah, blah, blah. Although now you could get into the reefer game, I'm sure, Jeezy. But then now we're selling tequila. But yo, if you set up an alcohol company, you're basically still a drug dealer for all practical points of view. Yeah, it's totally cool and legit. All I'm trying to say is this song's fresh and fuck, and I give it a 4.5 on 5. I really like it. One of the best ones on the album. Anyway, Chris, instead of saying stuff like the artistry, blah, 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 that sounds like fake love. Don't do it.
I chase you, I chase these riches, bro. You ain't got a loyal bone in your body.
Do you guys ever think about why Maul sits on a stool and Rory and Joe sit on a couch? Anyway, this song is following up, I think, on the hater theme, but moving more a little bit towards a lady.
I have an answer to that.
What is the answer to that question?
Maul has made it very fucking clear that he doesn't want Joe to keep touching him, so I'm pretty sure he's like secluding himself away from Joe. There is I fucking religiously listen to this podcast. There is many times Joe just like grabs his knee or whatever. He's like, yo, stop touching me. That's why he sits on the stool by himself.
I have a question. Did Joe convert you to Team R&B yet?
No, I don't actually listen to the sleepers. I listen to the whole thing and then they go sleeper time and I'm like, yeah, bye.
I don't know what that means.
Because
I stopped watching the Joe Budden podcast because it got not as fun. State of the Culture's back.
Yes.
I'm really
I
excited.
don't know how I feel without Scotty Beam.
Scotty Beam did not want to be there.
I understand that.
And watching her and Joe argue was...
basically hearing Joe and Nikki argue.
It's not the same thing.
Okay.
Because Nikki is doing... It's just not the same thing. Nikki's a celebrity with media training and a lot of other stuff. And
right.
Scotty Beam was brought on to be the voice of a person. And honestly, anytime she had an opinion, it felt like Joe would just like speak down to her like she was a kid. Whereas Jinx just seems to be okay with that because he's grateful to be next to Joe Budden on a couch. And he sees how he's going to flip that into more shit.
Right.
But Scotty already was flipping it. So why does she need Joe no more?
Makes sense.
Anyway, I think she played Joe Budden successfully. How do you feel about this track?
I like this song. I like it's a softer song. It's got this Queen Naija really impressed me with her with her voice. It was a refreshing type of sound, just like, whoa. Okay, another featuring artist who's got a different vibe to what I guess Jeezy's trying to bring. That was cool. If I'm not mistaken, this is a song that's basically about Jeezy expressing a friendship that went wrong.
I kind of feel like it's about women, friends, business partners. Like he's kind of open.
He's very open, but I mean, like, so like in verse 1, even let him stay off in my home. Yeah, use a real homie till you tell a homie no.
Well, but that's not about a person in particular, right? I know it says that, but like to me, I heard that line and I knew exactly what he meant. Like everybody likes you, right? And you especially go through this a lot at an office place, so you can correlate this feeling, right? So I'm a hybrid role where I'm both management with my own products, but in the eyes of others, I'm a resource because I can write. Not like whatever. I'm literally a professional writer because part of my profession is to write. Not like I'm a cool author. I write boring PDF crap. But like when I don't have the time, when I want to do something and I'm not enthusiastic about somebody, all of a sudden I go from being everybody's superstar, we all love you, you're the greatest, to oh, and then attitude flipping stuff. So in a sense, now imagine it. You got $25 million right now. Everybody's like, yo, let's go to the club. You're like, all right, I'll cover it. Everybody loves you. So for a while, you cover everybody for a while. Next thing you know, people's like, yo, I got this business proposition. You'll send me 1,000, send me 10,000. So you cover it for a quick minute. Then you realize this is the only reason these people are talking to you. So you start saying no to these people. And all of a sudden, when they realize they can't get your cheddar, they start going from, oh, you cool, I think you the greatest, to fuck that guy. And then that's what he means here. Like everybody's down up until like they prove otherwise when you say no. Because the only people who's down are the ones that when things are not good, when times are not well, they stay down. So that's all I'm saying. So that's why I mean, like it felt general. It felt like he's dealt with a lot of people. And then, you know, just to move it, not just like from the homies, right after that. Before I chase you, I'll chase these riches, boo. You ain't a loyal bone in your body. Probably fucking fought up in this party.
Right.
So there's no way.
He does say bitches too right before that. He goes like fuck homies and then bitches too. So.
Right. So it's like, it's about the disloyal people who at the end, like the girls who just people who are using him.
Right.
And then I never asked a man for a thing except some Tylenol to help with the pain. And I think that's fascinating. He's okay with asking for a Tylenol. He's saying for trivial, whatever things, you know. But even then, there's a purpose. Like, I have a headache. I need to, you know, send me a Tylenol, please.
Right.
But at the same time, he's making it that he's out there to earn what he gets. And I think he says it somewhere on the album. I don't know if we missed the track, but I don't like to take. I like to earn. And there's a huge difference between that. And I love that mentality. And, you know, then the second verse, same kind of thing. Yeah, I said I'm all in, I'm going all out. They only come around when you ball out. Paper fucked up, doubts in my head. That's why my main man left me for dead.
That's some real shit.
Like, just imagine that. Your business partner, whoever it is. Oh, you're having a little bit of hard time. Some stuff goes bad. Well, fuck them. Not even going to be down no more. And so I've started experiencing this in my personal life, in my 30s, as my life is going pretty well compared to some other people I grew up with whose lives are not. It's nothing drastic, but just people would rather you fail in some cases than succeed. And I suppose just the things they'll say about you behind your back and the way attitudes will flip is pretty remarkable. Why? Because you're winning and they're still trying to figure out how to win. And that makes them feel uncomfortable. And then if you don't respond in this like super empathetic, I feel bad for you way, they snap. And I don't have patience for that. As most other people in the grind know that patience for that's very challenging. Again, this is another 2-verse thing. It's a little bit of a outro. And I like the outro. You know, one thing about it, I was sitting up in that cell and asking motherfucker for shit. Ain't nobody go spend on me. Ain't nobody check on his kids, call his mama, his sister, he's paid people's funerals, all that. And what he's saying is here, when he was down, he saw who was real and nobody really came around. And that's really significant because I guarantee you something, man. Like right now, I'm starting to get people in Montreal to pay attention because I've been YouTubing for a while because I got things going. But I guarantee you, if I just stop for 6 months, everybody's going to ignore me and I'm no longer in existence no more. It's fucked up, man. Imagine I had a hard time. Think anybody's going to lift the boat? Nope. So like Jeezy, I got to build for myself and provide for my world. Otherwise, what is there? Nobody going to help. So that's the kind of things. You get a bunch of people who are meal ticket. Like, I can't really say any names, but throughout my life and the projects I've worked on, there have definitely been people who have worked with me simply to piggyback on what I can bring to the table while bringing nothing themselves and then leave. And so I'm starting to really understand a lot more why these rappers make these songs. Either way, I thought it was alright. I give it a 4.5 on 5. I thought it was really fresh. I thought it was something different on this album. Something that like stood out because like we've had a concept flip. It's almost like we're at the leg of the chapter of the album where we've gone from the money, the success, to his compadres, to more of the personal relationships in his life as we segue into that almost final leg of this story that we're going through. So this would be like, I guess chapter 1 is his come up in the grind. It's the first like 6 or so, 7 songs, him being a drug dealer, him making it. The next tracks are about the success, what's come with that, the different things attached to it, and now we're moving into the more personal side of his life, which I think is a great way to structure this project. So yeah, to me it's a dope track, and I give it a 4.5 on 5.
I really enjoyed the softer side of Jeezy on this, and just getting more of that emotional feel. You know, it could have been really easy for him to just kind of like make a song the same concept but just be more gangster about it, and I feel like he kind of took down his guard and just went full like, this is what I'm truly feeling. Bringing in Queen Naija, I felt made that emphasis a little bit more, really kind of brought out that other side, I guess, of I guess the persona of who Jeezy is. So that was really cool to me. You know, I like when he said, I said I'm all in, I'm going all out. They only come around when you ball out. No, not that part. I fed homies, I led homies, because we already did that. I fed homies, I led homies, then your dogs won't help you pull the sled. Took them around the world, even gave them ice. Like, just the fact of being so available to these people, as much as you could imagine he's really busy doing XYZ things, it still seems like he took his time to be available for certain people who have inevitably just fucked him over in the end and didn't really want to grow with him or really help him achieve and move with his vision. So it was a good song. It was something different, a little bit refreshing for me. I just left it with a 4.2. It's not like I'm gonna really go back to this anyway.
Wow, that was super rude, Chris. The truth is, when Gunna's on the track, you're gonna be banging girls all night.
I'm ride wood, yeah. Rose gold with the pointers, yeah. I'm looking good, yeah.
Yo, for real, Google Maps is a snitch, man. I went to a certain store of a product that we shouldn't talk about. I got back to work, and I'm allowed, it was my lunch break, and literally my phone's popping up going, you were at this store selling a product that maybe your work doesn't want to hear about. Why didn't you ask us questions about? And then it keeps bringing up, you were there. Can you? I'm like, Google Maps, why are you snitching? Because that pops up on your notifications. That's the stuff anybody looking at your phone can see. Why are you snitching, Google Maps? I gave you all these points and answers, and I helped them. Like, and then their reward, snitch. Ridiculous. Anyway, so this track is kind of more on that, like, you know, banger, you're going out. I believe Jeezy's on some cocaine.
I feel like this is the work all night track.
But I'm on that white though.
Yeah, but he could also be on that white selling it. Could be chopping it up, whipping it.
I feel like it's
Or
a bit
being on
more
it.
of a party track. I'm talking breaking down a brick. Yeah, to hit a lick. In love with that bitch. Yeah, she's still a trick. That ass is sitting right. Yeah, I want to bite. I could fuck it right. Yeah, all night.
I mean, streets get deep. Yeah, I'm talking quicksand, straight up out the hood. Yeah, I'm riding wood. Yeah, rose gold with the pointers. Yeah, I'm looking good. Yeah, self-made, self-paid. Yeah, it's understood. I still be AEW. I wish I would. I feel like it could be both. It could be a party track, like just out in the club having fun, or it could also just be like this is where, like, if you work all night, whether you're selling drugs, music, fucking just if you're making money and you work through the night, you could end up partying and having a good time.
You're gonna have that happen. You about
Right.
your issues. You go and shine every night. Phone off. Grind it up and get it right. Don't do no snitching like Google Maps. Don't do no tricking. I guess like Google Maps. Don't do no lacking. Okay, Google Maps is not lacking. In fact, it's snitching. Don't do no capping. It's all night. Let's get it cracking. Yeah. Came up on a milli, yeah, I'm a millionaire. I can't see the envy, yeah, through these Cartiers. Neighborhood style, like catch me rocking cashmere. Extravagant shop, I can't buy shit from last year.
It just kind of sounds like if you work
I
hard,
guess,
you could, you know,
have a
do
good
this.
life. That's fair.
Talk about her brain when I said she give lip. I got in my bag.
Here's
this
the
is a
truth
whole lot of
about. Can
chips.
I say something about Gunna's verse? Like, I listen to the tracks 3 times in a row at least when I do my review. I could never remember a thing Gunna said. I just couldn't remember it. Like, he would say stuff and it sounded like, okay, his verse aight, but there's a lot of effects on it. I'm like, not a single. I have to read the lyrics to remember that he said the shit he said, because none of it stuck. Jeezy stuck.
I think
None of Gunna stuck.
I think so. I kind of had the same feel, and then it was different when I was just listening to the album. And I think that what I noticed about Gunna is that he's auto-tuny, he's singy, he's got that type of vibe. And I feel like a lot of the things that stick in that type of lane is when you're really vibing to it and you're not trying to break it down or really read the lyrics. I think it's more like if you sit back, whatever, you know, start turning up and you're kind of vibing there, Gunna will stick with you because he's putting you in that feel. He's putting you in that mode. It's the same way of, like, I kind of look at like Lil Uzi in a sense where, you know, if you're not in that mindset, if you're not like in that mode to have this sing-songy type melodic rappy thing, nothing's really gonna stick with you because you're not part of the vibe.
Raindrop, trap top, smoking a cookie.
Again, that's a vibe though.
No, I remember the words. I remember words of all of them.
Could it be a hook?
Whoa, like that boogie with the hooky, like love, sex, like they remember that song.
No, me it's Bust Down.
All I'm saying is that, like, usually I remember the words they say after I'm done listening for at least a little bit. I'm saying that immediately after none of Gunna's verse registered on my brain. I digress. This song's a 4.2. It's not as good as the ones I was liking before, but I recognize that it's also a really good and fun to listen to track for what it is.
I also gave it a 4.2.
We already know what the next song's about because it's with Dolla, Psy I9, and it's called Foreplay. And it's almost like, is there really a reason to review a track called Foreplay with Dolla Sign? is literally everything you think it is. I don't know what I can possibly say. All that's new is him going dollar sign as like a tag in the beginning. Ty Dolla Sign sings some crap about getting laid. Jeezy as a rapper. Street certified, they ain't never lied. Killed me 10 times, I ain't never died. She loved when I talk that blunt shit. Watch what they do, I'm on my shit. Future so bright, I had a dark past. All odds against me, thought I wouldn't last. So blood in my vein, but my lifeline. Swear we gon' ball for a lifetime. Us against the world, I'ma hold it down. California king with the queen, I'ma put it down. Can't rush like this, I'm no way. Take my time, hope you like foreplay. So he's got his world, and he's pushing it. And she's like, he wants to let her know if she's down to ride, it's okay.
So I felt like the first verse he was setting up he met this girl and he's kind of testing her, kind of just being like the gangster-ish him who he is.
I suppose it's a little better than what normally would come.
And then, he's kind of just giving us like what he usually does and just how he's been doing stuff.
Is this a love song?
Okay, so
is this a fuck song?
No. I think the foreplay is the "Are you really down to ride with me" type.
Sure.
Okay. So the first verse, Jeezy's kind of like, "I'm Mr. Gangster. This is what I do. Blah 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 blah. Are you ready to ride?"
I get it.
Second verse is more of like, I'm willing to do things for you and bring you different places. Are you willing to ride with me?
Let's give Jeezy his full props, and I mean that. He's really showing like an interesting, actually effective dating strategy here that doesn't sound like it's based in fantasy. Kind of like, I'm gonna go and provide for you in a literal sense of like, yo, I'm a real one. I'm not like these other chumps. Right. I respect this game. 2, 3, 4, 5 in the morning. I know that you see I'm on you, shawty. I can read your mind, so baby, here's what we gonna do. Tell your friends good night today. Come on, meet me outside today. Let me change your life, babe. All I need is one night, babe. And it works. But then I said to myself, like I thought in the beginning, what really was there to talk about on this track? Jeezy's the guy that you want to be with because he's going to change your life because he's all the real ones. And I'll give it to you. Jeezy does sound more like a real one than others.
I like Ty's verse thing.
Like, I just thought this was so boring.
Okay, I can feel that. I think...
this is where I got I'm on you. So let me know what you want to do. Shawty looks so good, she's so fine. Got that sexy feel without trying. Take you from the hood, never give you back. Baby girl, let me know if you're into that. We gon' have a good time. Know you got your own, baby, I'ma spend mine. Over here, where we winning at. Baby girl, let me know if you're into that. Are you into that? That's like every other Ty verse ever. It's so boring at this point.
Is where
it's almost like you see Ty on the song and you're like, oh, R&B, rap, hybrid, sex song, love song, girl song, token girl song for the gangster rap album.
Is this what I look like when I hate music?
No, I hate it. I'm just sitting there like, I knew exactly what it was going to be. Just because it's called foreplay and had Ty Dolla Sign, and
I agree, but I
gave this a 4 because this didn't have to be on the album. And I'm not gonna lie, Jeezy is not exactly who I want to hear being any kind of romance. I respect that this might be his game, and maybe you want Jeezy romance, but for me, I'm like, I could live without this.
The only thing that one of the things that stood out to me was Ty Dolla Sign seemed to be more upfront and blunt about what he wanted, and Jeezy kind of just showered her in like whatever he thought was the thing to kind of say to her, like, I'll take you here, I'll do this, I'll shower you in diamonds, blah blah blah, I am the best. Now I do like that he can follow up and be like, yo, I'm better than your next man's because I got this and I got that. Yes, that is solidified and true and valid and all that stuff. But I don't know, I just felt like the verse itself was just, let me do all these things. And Ty was like, yo, I'm doing this. That's how you know
Chris doesn't have game. Because at least I'm saying that he's got game. I'm telling you now, if anybody has game on this track, it's not Ty Dolla Sign.
I'm not saying about game. I never said game. I'm just talking
about game.
You, not me. I'm saying Ty just seemed more.
I'll teach
blunt.
him what he needs to know.
Yes, please. Apparently. 4.2. I like this
Anyway,
song in a weird way.
Just don't play it safe. Take those risks. But not with your Jimmy. Wear a Jimmy hat. Don't take risks with your Jimmy. Play it safe.
I ain't fucking with you. Oh man.
So Chris is using our podcast to get laid. And I have to give him credit. Off camera, between these tracks, we talked about it a bit. That's a good move, because being on the internet and showing regularity and effort equals ambition. People get blinded by things by numbers. It's not what's going to drop the panties. What's going to drop the panties is your active effort to turn down things like playing video games until 2 in the morning with your friends and focusing on your grind and moving forward with your life. That drops the panties, and it lets you get multiple girls at once through honest means. I've been there, done that. Now I'm locked up and whatever is what it is, but that's okay. You move towards open and remind her that young ladies will do things to her, and you work towards a happier future. And that's not playing it safe. That's what this song is. Chris, how do you feel about this track?
I didn't like this song either. It was kind of just followed suit in terms of like what we just got. It's more of like a love songy type feel track. Noah Scarf did a really good job. I like his voice. That was cool. Just again, the contrast between like Jeezy being all boss man and heavy voice and everything, and then Noah kind of breaking that same feel and just kind of giving you this fluffy, nice vibe to it. So that was cool. But like, I don't know. I just felt like this was more of, all right, we're not really having fun. We're really kind of like in a relationship. The bigger the risk, the bigger the prize. Yeah, I love her on top while I'm gripping them thighs.
Hold up. That's an awesome position. Do you not love her on top while you grip? And then you can guide the rotation of the hips.
Yep.
Okay, keep going.
Bonnie and that Clyde shit. We show up and we show out. Thug love in the backseat every time we go out. Got her legs vibrating. Yeah, I'm about to catch a felony. Like, it now kind of seems like he's took the girl from the last verse, got her attention. They've been kind of going at things, and now he's just appreciating who she is and really just like, you're really cool to be with. When we get, if I'm not mistaken, we get another chorus.
Yeah, but at the same time, if you look at the hook, it's almost like he's looking at himself like this established hard person who's banging this girl or whatever, but also kind of pointing out that this girl is kind of crazy, and I don't know. Maybe is this because he likes her? Girl, you got a lot of issues. Like, damn, wonder why I ain't fucking with you. Is that like him liking her? Or
I think I mean, like,
I don't know if that's him liking her or not liking her.
No, he likes her. I think he likes her because she's
the plan is not to let
got
him trick
issues.
you off your shit. Ooh, we doing is the worth pursuing or ruin. Swear I never. Oh, I get. Oh, so he's into the crazy chick.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. Crazy chicks are the ones that ride your dick proper. Sorry, Bonnie, if you watch this, you're great. She anyway, I gotta be careful here because she's not gonna watch this. She doesn't actually watch these podcasts, but so anyway,
suddenly it's the one podcast she decides to watch.
She's not, but what could happen is somebody here goes and comments on a video that she's in. Did you know what he said? And then she'll pay attention to those comments. But I like the fact that he still got that autonomy and the self-made, self-paid, and it's a motherfuck them all. Yeah, I hope that you can handle me, girl, because, girl, you got to challenge me. Stack of Bibles on God, you won't damage me. And I like that, too, because he wants a strong and intelligent woman.
Right.
So a lot of strong and intelligent women tend to end up with weak and stupid guys. So they think that all dudes hate strong and intelligent women, and it's not the case, yo. But when you come against a strong guy, you're gonna get opposition. Like, if you a smart girl who wins all the arguments you have with guys, and then a guy beats you in an argument, that's a good thing. You go after that guy. You're mad at him and you hate him, but he's smart enough to beat you in an argument. There's not a lot of those. That's all I'm trying to say. Don't let those ones go. Those are the ones to keep. Only the ones that aren't stupid enough to keep arguing. They gotta stop arguing. But if they beat you in an argument and then back the fuck off to let you know they win and that they're respectful, keep her, blow that dude on the first date. Anyway, It's an alright song. It's like a bit better than the last song. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of weird ass love songs like this. Like
Rolex like a
I
Grammy,
suppose
somebody
it's
like
like it is a cool twist that he's not making boring ass Dolla sign songs like he normally would.
Okay.
Just a different kind of boring ass Dolla sign song. And you know what? I bet this is a reflection of his world, and it's kind of how I pitched my girlfriend. I said, I'm going to go do my life and my grind, and I'm going to be like this, and I'm going to do like this, and I'm going to be like this, and if you down to ride, you down to ride. So I see myself in the lack of romance in these songs. Gave it a 4.1.
Gave it a 4.
Well, don't you forget about me. Do, 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 do. That shit's in a lot of movies.
They haven't sent my future manifesting. It's all in this vision, but when you're ready to risk.
So there's 3 types of people that this featured voice, who I'm not sure who it is, does not like. There's the ones who work, get a job, work 2 weeks, quit as soon as they get money, score some dope, then they're broke again. That's a bad type of hustler. It's just you're not very good at it. Your priorities are whack. The second type is somebody, I know a few of these actually, is hustle to get high-ass people. They buy a motherfucking ounce of weed, trying to sell half of it and smoke the rest. That way they kind of pay for the ounce through what they sell, and then they can stay to get high. So they continue on that path of mediocrity, and they never really make profit. They just essentially are drug-dealing drug addicts. And then the third one, which gets revealed later on in the song, is old dope fiend ass person who'll be bringing a lick, and every time they bring you something, they ask for something. Yeah, you know I brought them to you. Draw me something. Yo, get your bitch ass away from me, hoe ass person. I thought that was pretty funny how he kind of broke down the different types of people he doesn't respect, but with specific examples so that like you can learn to spot that behavior in others while getting rid of it in yourself. But how do you feel about this track?
It was cool. I'm not, I don't know. I'm at that point in the album where I'm like, I kind of feel like it's going on now. But it was still cool. It still had that same energy. It didn't it wasn't losing anything. It kind of brought me back a little bit to being like, oh, okay. We got off of the romantic songs. We're coming back here. So it did what it had to do. Now, I like how the chorus starts off with 1, get some paper. 2, yeah, get some more. 3, it's time to put them burglar bars on the doors. 5, watch the 12. They gon' kick in. 6 is for the first. My homie, what you trying to spend? And 7, 8, and they just kind of keep going down. And it feels like he's building up this kind of like 10 commandments these 10 rules of
get some money. Make sure you protect yourself. Pay attention. Keep grinding when the money come in. Don't forget about where you came from, what's actually going on. Keep watchful of the snitches around you. And don't forget to let your top down. And then it rolls into the verses.
Which is nice. I didn't really catch anything from the first verse much except for the Nina's is 65. You what that spent. We counting them blessings. We know that they haven't sent. My future I'm manifesting is all in the vision board. When you're willing to risk it all, that's when you know that your vision bold. All the spam and ramen noodles, I swear this shit's getting old. More of that I come from this type of life, but as long as I was with my vision and I kept sticking with it, I was able to follow my 1 to 10 rules or things that I should be doing so I can achieve the life that I want. So it's kind of what I got from there. In verse 2, though, I like when he said, if I'm playing with it, they gave him that act right. They gave him that act right. My cousin was trafficking. He got stopped at a tail light. He went in and came out, never said what the cell like, because when he was in middle school, started hustling and dropped out.
Can we just give him props for rhyming tail light and cell like? Because he did it really well.
Started hustling and dropped out public defender. He caught a case and he copped out a little light skin. What's his name? He was getting his bread right. I like that whole part just because it was really kind of giving us more of an insight of like what was surrounding him, what was going on, more of this like family kind
But I
of.
like the part where the ethos you learn is you don't talk about this type of thing. You keep
Yeah.
your mouth shut. You probably don't complain. You don't like. He didn't even hear what it was like on the inside. Dude did his thing, came out, and like was like a soldier about it. Is the way he kind of describes it to me.
Absolutely, and I like that from this song. It was cool, just like how he's kind of in a way like saying, don't forget, this is what you're supposed to do to be a boss. This is how you're supposed to kind of run things. This is how you're supposed to handle situations. And if you want to succeed, you should follow, what I'm saying in these things. I thought it was cool, but it wasn't really something that I'm like diving right in for. So 4 on 5.
I mean, I feel like the track is one of the standouts on the album. I feel like as we're coming up to the end, it's a really cool like pickup. So we're past the pseudo weird love crap. We've kind of moved into this just idea of some like top level rules on, kind of like a quick like at the end, like here's something to live by on how to approach this game, what to watch for. And then a bit of this where I'm validating why you should listen to the rules in his chorus
Right.
throughout the verses. So it's kind of like a quick, and I say end because we all know what the next track's about, and it's not about this. So like this is just like after everything to come into the end, you now know who the snowman is. You've been through this whole journey, and here is like the shit you really need to remember from it all.
Right.
But I thought the beat was standout. I thought the whole flow and feel of this track was just awesome, and I give it a 4.5 on 5. Anyway, there's one last track on this album, and it's called The Real MVP.
Was feeling the school. Had you crying so much late nights you could fill up a pool.
So basically this is the song where after we've learned about his grandeur and everything, he lets us know who the real MVP is, and it's his mom. And truth is, I wish I was better. I was chasing the cheddar. I didn't take the time to write you a letter. I was too busy chasing the funds. I didn't take the time out the day just to be your son. And that's something I can really relate to right now at this phase of my life where I barely talk to my mom. I'm too busy doing all the things I'm trying to do to get to this place. And maybe one day I get to that place and I have time for my mom, but maybe my mom passes and I never get to that place. Like, it's just some shit that you really think about. But you kind of take some time to describe what he put her through and how he broke her rules and hid crack in the house and all this other shit. And, just kind of like considering what it's like to be the mother of a son who the DA wants to lock up and things like that. And then, with my hopes and dreams on a scale, which is interesting, right? Because it both is the risk of what he's doing, but also literally putting drugs on a scale. All I know is these are hard times making you frail, and maybe I'm just chasing a dream, maybe caught in the hype. We got faith that we're gonna be all right. That means we're gonna make it tomorrow, we're gonna live tomorrow, grind it up, no begging, no borrowing. And lately you've been on my mind, spending all my time, trying not to go out of my mind. And, and he's just kind of feeling a way about his mom and the things he's put her through, and then kind of point out that even though everything is what it is, I'm now rocking these crowds, I'm now winning, and really all said and done, you're the reason this even happened in the first place. And then Kevin Durant's, it was from his 2014 MVP speech that was there, and damn, it's a doozy. I watched a bunch of that speech as he's crying, and his mom's crying at this part, and it's like, it's a bit longer than what you hear here. It's kind of a little snipped, but if you listen to that, man, as he really gives props to his mom and just some memories of like having nothing and recognizing the importance of family. But and last, my mom, I don't think you know what you did. Like, you don't even realize the impact. And I don't think most of our moms do in light of everything they've done for us. Like, just keep in mind, whoever you are, your mom carried you inside of her for 9 months, got real fat, had to deal with a bunch of anxiety, and then struggled to lose weight after, all for your life. That's some real shit. Anyway, this song's beautiful to me. It's almost tearjerker level of beautiful to me. John Legend does a wonderful job. Just kind of, especially that part at the end where Jeezy's just like done and just lets John Legend do his part. It's touching. It's the real MVP of this album, and I give it a 5 on 5.
It's no doubt that there is this really heavy presence of just emotions that are in this song. Jeezy really, really kind of lets everything go and really gives his mom that full praise and kind of acknowledges everything that he's done and how she's felt and what may have happened or things that have gone through. I did like when we found out that his dad wasn't around. Letter, I was too busy chasing the fun, but I ain't take the time to write you a letter. I was too busy chasing the funds. I ain't take the time out to take a day and just be your son. Middle school, yeah, I got me a pack. Yeah, I got me a sack. Daddy gone, so I picked up the slack. Now, it's crazy to think, like, in a way, I kind of relate to that because my father wasn't really around either. As much as he was there, he was a lot on like business trips and he wasn't really like just present. He would be there like on weekends and stuff like that. So at a certain point I felt like I had to step up and start doing a lot of things for my mom and helping my mom as well. But at the same time, it's like you don't realize that when you're doing that, you're also maybe forgetting other things that you need to be doing to keep that relationship going. Like I started getting jobs, I started growing up and like doing all this shit, but I also started neglecting my own mother and really started kind of just dealing with my own life. And even now that like I've moved out and a bunch of stuff, like I don't really see or talk to my mom as much as I'm on this quest to, become the rapper I want to be and the podcaster and all this stuff. It really just kind of spoke to me in a way that it's like you got to make that time for at least your parents, your family, if most, or if anything, at least the woman who gave you life. That is something that I really, really took away from that. And it's interesting to just see that like the different transitions of how he carried himself through this song in terms of giving us the experiences in the stories. So that was really cool. I liked it. I gave it a 4.5 just because it's not like it's really, really good, but it's not a song that I'm going to be going back to and really like think that I'm going to be like resonating with for a long time. But I mean, I liked it.
Fair enough. You're allowed to believe everything that you would like to believe. So I guess that brings us to the end of this album review of Jeezy's Thug Motivation 104, The Legend of the Snowman, which turned out to just be like an 18-track project that kind of brings you through his life, like his history, some of the stuff he did in the past, moving through some of the tribulations and the successes and wins and losses that come with the success and the complications of personal relationships, some weird-ass love songs, Dolla sign, and then a touching tribute to his mother at the end. It's a really cool album. I give it a 4.366. I think it's extremely consistent. That's the best word for it. If you really like it, you're going to love it. If you're into Jeezy, I can't see why you don't think this is fire. Like, I think it's pretty great. Not all the beats are my favorite, and I don't necessarily live the same lifestyle, but I feel like Jeezy imparts on us a wisdom and a way of thinking that we can all study in the way that people study business books to obtain a higher level of understanding on how to play certain types of games better, because what he's saying transcends drug dealing into all business, because he's an entrepreneur. One of the things he did may have been a distribution of a narcotic. Other things he did are different, and they're probably stuff you can emulate. So go study. Like there's so many examples. Like freaking Chingy is like in chart is like a co-owner of Maker Studios, which is one of the biggest YouTube network things. Like it's insane the amount of stuff you can see these rappers flipping, the ones with the proper business acumen. And I think that Jeezy's one of those dudes, and it's always a pleasure to hear what he has to say. It always sounds real to me. Anyway, yeah, I like the album.
I gave the album a 4.21. I liked it as a first real sit-down Jeezy album. It really, I think it was a good pick. Gave me a lot about his life, a lot about what the type of mentality he's got, how he carries himself. Maybe I should go back and listen to TM101, 2, and 3 just to kind of understand like the whole series of it and everything you've been trying to do. I think that in a while I will go back to this album to really just kind of, maybe there's things I missed and things I want to just kind of get a deeper understanding of. But I liked it. I enjoyed listening to Jeezy again. It kind of, certain feels and certain songs brought me back to being a kid again, and I was like, this is really cool. This is why I liked him. Yeah, I left it with a 4.21.
Alright, so thank y'all for watching. Totally appreciate you being here with us. It's awesome. We know we talk a lot, but that's kind of the point of podcast. And also let us know in the comments what you think. We join the discussion. Keep in mind, if we miss something in the review and you leave like a fresh ass comment, other people coming to it are going to read that comment and then they're going to learn whatever crap we missed. And if you make that effort, I'll answer you. You can hit the like video if you dug the video. Feel free to subscribe to the channel for more content like this. And yeah, special thanks to the patrons: Ismail Dempsey, Chris Prado, Jonathan Barnes, DJ Black Hurricane, Lindell Williams, Coney Sparks. They're awesome. They support what we do, helped us get a camera, tell us what albums to review. They're soon gonna have a website because of them. They're freaking awesome. So if you want to help us hit that next tier, get rid of that ugly ass black sheet on the wall, well, you can donate through Patreon, and that would make you freaking awesome. We also make music, so you can check that out. Let us know what you think. We on the ground, we on the hustle. We plan on getting to the top, and hopefully you want to join us on that journey. Peace, love, and live long and prosper.
Bye.